This, ladies and gentlemen, is your best friend. I'm serious. A lot of people are scared of this. It's called a stove. It's a stove. It's your friend. It's going to help you eat. It's going to help you cook. Let's get a little better acquainted with your new best friend. Remember, they don't bite. So what you see here are the knobs, or the turners if you will, for the 4 burners. You know, if you only have a 2-burner stove, you're obviously only going to have 2 burners, and it's pretty much self-explanatory from there. So what these circles represent, it represents the 4 burners. You have the 2 burners in the back, and then you have the 2 burners in the front. And some stoves, such as mine, have filled-in circles and clear circles. So what this essentially means is the clear circles are the burners that are not represented with this knob. The filled-in circle is the burner that is represented with this knob. So this knob right here indicates that it's a front burner, and it's a front burner on the left side. This knob represents a rear burner. A rear burner on the left side. And moving down, a rear burner on the right side, and a front burner on the right side. Now, if you don't have any indication of what burner works for which knob works for which burner, get a Sharpie. Get some type of pen that you can write on, depending on what color your stove is, that you could actually write what it is. So for here, it would actually be F for front and L for left. So it would be FL. This would be RL. This would be RR for right, rear. And then that would be FR for front, right. What you'll also notice is that my burners have an off switch, which you always, of course, want to leave it in when you're not cooking. It indicates a high and a low flame. It also, high and low will represent if you have an electric stove, about how high do you want it to heat. Do you want it at high temperature? Do you want it at a medium? Or do you want it at a low? This actually doesn't have medium, so medium is going to be obviously between the high and the low, so you'll just need to gauge the knob and look at the flame, since this is a gas stove. Don't be scared of a gas stove. You don't want to have loose clothing when you're turning it on, but you don't need to be afraid of it. It can be your friend. It's going to help you cook. And then here we have the knob for the oven. And as you can see, it has the off switch, and it actually goes from 200 degrees to 550. If you have a gas stove, it will say broil, and the broiler is below, which I'll show you in a second. And right here is the light switch. So you just want to, you know, turn the light on, make sure that your food's doing okay, and turn it off, because we don't want to waste electricity. This is very easy to use. It has a little indicator here to turn with each temperature as it's regulated. Alrighty, so here we have the oven. So you open up the door of the oven with your oven mitts, because it's probably going to be hot. You can remove racks. Most ovens have about 2 racks. You can adjust them to be higher or lower, whatever you want. And as I mentioned before, we said that there's a light. So see, you can actually see inside the oven. And you want to shut the light off when you're not looking inside. As I mentioned, there's the broiler. We won't be using that anytime soon, but this is actually the broiler. And you would put your food on here, and there's a flame right up top, and it would actually make a nice crisp to whatever you're having, or heat it up a little bit more. So that's the broiler. Time to see how the stove actually operates. With gas stoves, sometimes you actually have to push the knob in for the flame to ignite, or you have like a little clicking mechanism. Mine actually has a clicking mechanism. Electric stoves, you just turn it to it. So if you listen closely, this is how you actually turn my stove on. And remember, you don't want loose clothing to stand over the flame and it'll catch on fire and you'll have to stop, drop, and roll. You want to stand at least like a nice little arm's length away, and you will turn the stove on. So you heard the clicking sound, and now the flame is on, and it immediately goes to high. So you want to turn it down to low until you're ready to then put your pot on. Oftentimes you would want to actually already have your pot on the stove to help reduce the amount of flames that, you know, might come up. You never know. But still, you always want to stand at least an arm's length away, and you just hear the clicking, and it ignites, and you turn it down to low till you're ready to adjust the temperature back up. It's not hard. This is your friend. If you treat it nicely, it will treat you nicely, and it will treat your stomach nicely. This is not scary. It is your friend. You just have to make sure you pay attention to whatever you put up here.